Congratulations, you have been hired as a security guard in the Chernobyl Exclusion Zone for 7 nights. However, for each night, you must carefully observe these rules. Security Rules. Night 1.
The silent truck rule. If during your patrol you notice that the lights of one of the ZIL 131 trucks have turned on, do not approach it. Those trucks haven't had batteries for 30 years. If you hear the sound of an engine starting, immediately return to the guard booth and sit with your back to the window. 2. The entrance inspection rule. At 11:45 p.m., an old 1986 model fire truck will approach the entrance gate. The driver will ask you to open the way so he can go toward the reactor. Do not look into his eyes and do not open the gate. Simply say, "The fire is out, comrade. Go back home." If he insists, turn off your flashlight. 3. The Geiger counter rule. Your Geiger counter must be on at all times. If the device suddenly goes silent without any clicking, this is not a good sign. It means there is something near you that absorbs radiation. In this instance, hold your breath and run 10 meters back. 4. The under helicopter rule. When passing by the Mi-26 helicopters, never look inside the cockpit. You might see a figure wearing a flight suit gesturing for you to board. If you look at him, your legs will be locked to the ground until morning. 5. The metal shadows rule. The rusted equipment makes strange noises in the wind. If you hear the sound of metal clanging against metal repeating in a regular rhythm like Morse code, do not respond. They are checking to see if the new guard is alert or not. 6. The glass reflection rule. The windows of most trucks are broken. If you see a truck with perfectly intact and clean glass, do not check your reflection in it. What you see in that glass will not be your current face. Security Rules. Night 2. The diving board rule. Do not go up the diving board under any circumstances. If you look down into the empty pool from that height, you will see its depth stretching for kilometers. If that happens, gravity will pull you in. 2. The false reflection rule. If you shine your flashlight on the bottom of the pool and see the reflection of clear water instead of concrete, run back immediately. That is not water. It is a type of dense, sentient radioactive gas that will melt your lungs in seconds. 3. The locker number 42 rule. In the locker room, locker number 42 is always ajar. If you hear someone banging on the door from the inside, lock it shut tightly with your own padlock and do not return to that room for 30 minutes. No matter what you hear, pleading or threats, do not open the door. 4. The swimming race rule. At 3 a.m., you will hear the starting whistle of a race. Immediately sit in one of the referee chairs and look straight ahead. Do not close your eyes. You must pretend to be watching a competition that does not exist. If they sense you are not a spectator, they will enter you as the next contestant. 5. The showers rule. If you hear a shower turning on from the bathroom area, do not go there. The water has been cut off for years. The thing under the shower is washing off its previous skin to prepare for finding a new host. 6. The wall clock rule. The large clock in the hall is stopped at 1:23, the time of the explosion. If you see the second hand start to move, it means time in this building is rewinding. You must exit the building before the hands reach 1:24, or else you will be trapped in the night of the incident forever.
Security Rules. Night 3. The lit window rule. If you see a light on in an apartment within one of the completely abandoned buildings, do not stare at it under any circumstances. If you see a shadow behind the curtain waving at you, immediately change course. They are looking for guests, and if they realize you have noticed their presence, they will exit the building and stalk you for the remainder of the night. The echoing footsteps rule. On the wide city streets, pay attention to the sound of your own footsteps. If you realize that 1 or 2 extra steps ring out after you stop, it means something is close behind you. In this situation, do not look back. Simply say in a loud voice, "I am just a passerby. This is not my home." The clothesline rule. In some courtyards, there are still clotheslines holding rotting clothes. If you see the clothes remaining perfectly still in a strong wind or shaking violently in still air, leave that courtyard. Those clothes are no longer fabric. They are forming new bodies. The city loudspeaker rule. The old city loudspeakers mounted on utility poles sometimes turn on with static. If you hear them announcing your name as missing, cover your ears. If you stay there until the end of the announcement, your mind will believe it belongs to the year 1986, and you will never find the way out. The lone passerby rule. If you see someone standing at the end of the street with their back to you, wearing ordinary civilian clothing, do not approach them to offer help. If they turn around and you see their face is smooth and white, lacking eyes and a mouth, shine your flashlight directly onto their face until they disappear. The playground swings rule. In the playgrounds between the apartment blocks, if you see a swing moving on its own, do not sit on it and do not attempt to stop it. The children of the zone do not like anyone ruining their game. Security rules, Night 4. The metal taste rule. If you taste metal or copper in your mouth, it means radiation levels in that area have spiked severely. Immediately strike your chest 3 times and exit that hallway. If the metallic taste turns into the taste of blood, there is no longer an escape. Sit down right there and close your eyes. The infant ward rule. When passing through the 3rd floor, maternity ward, you may hear the sound of a baby crying. Remember that no living being has been born in this building. If the sound does not stop, say loudly, "The shift has changed. There is no infant here." The wandering stretcher rule. At the end of the hallway, if you see a stretcher moving slowly towards you, do not touch it to stop it. Allow it to pass you by. If the stretcher stops and the sheet covering it begins to move, take your knife and slightly scratch your palm. They are seeking the warmth of fresh blood to track you. Spill the blood on the ground in the opposite direction of yourself and run. The basement rule, absolute prohibition. The basement door is chained shut. If you hear someone screaming from behind the door, "We are burning, bring us water," do not undo the chain under any circumstances. They are firefighters whose souls are trapped in the moment of their death. If you splash water inside, they will find a way to touch you. The surgeon's shadow rule. In the operating room, if you see a shadow on the wall of a figure standing with a scalpel, immediately shine your flashlight onto yourself. You must not allow his shadow to intersect with yours. If this happens, you will feel an excruciating pain in your abdomen, as if you are undergoing surgery without anesthesia. The elevator rule. The elevator shaft is empty. If the elevator doors open and you see a white light inside, do not enter. That light is pure radioactivity trying to lure you to your death.
Security rules. Night 5. The lost ticket rule. If you find a piece of paper on the platform that looks like a train ticket, do not pick it up. If you accidentally touch it, you must burn it before 2 a.m. Possessing that ticket means you are the next passenger on a train that never reaches a destination. The locomotive number 88 rule. Among the train cars, there is a black locomotive with the number 88 etched onto it. If you see the headlight of this train turn on and steam escaping from its pipes, immediately step off the tracks. That train does not move on physical rails, it travels over shadows. The waiting passenger rule. On the stone benches of the platform, you might see a man holding a suitcase and looking at his wristwatch. If he asks you, "What time does the Moscow train arrive?" never tell him the real time. Only say, "The tickets have been cancelled, comrade." If you tell him the time, he will trade the remaining time of your life for the time of his train. The cargo wagons rule. Never enter the sealed cargo wagons. If you hear the sound of banging against the metal hull from inside one of the wagons, strike the body 3 times with your hammer and move on. This is an old code. It means the cargo is still alive. If you do not strike back, they will tear the wagon door off its hinges to find out who is outside. The switchman rule. If you see the railway switch levers moving on their own, it means the track is opening up for the ghost train. At this moment, close your eyes and cover your ears. The whistle of this train can rupture your eardrums and wipe your memories. The fog on the rails rule. If the fog becomes so thick that you cannot see your feet, do not move from your spot. The fog at Yanov station is not just water vapor, it is the breath of thousands of passengers who were left behind on the night of the evacuation. Security rules. Night 6. The footsteps rule. If you hear the sound of children walking in the hallway, never follow that sound. No one has entered that school for 30 years. The roll call rule. At 12 a.m., go to the chemistry classroom. If you see your name written on the blackboard marked as absent, quickly pick up the chalk and mark present next to your name. If you fail to do this, before sunrise, you will truly become absent from the world of the living. The piano rule. There is an old piano in the music hall. If you hear the piano playing a sad melody, do not enter the hall. However, if the melody suddenly stops, it means the musician has noticed your presence. In this case, you must hum a short song so he continues playing. Otherwise, he will ask for your fingers to tune the piano. The recess rule. If you hear the school bell ring, even though there is no electricity, do not run into the hallway under any circumstances. Stay in the classroom and take shelter under a desk. The shadows of children will start running through the hallways, and they will drag anyone in their path into the gray world. The library rule. In the library, if you see a book floating in mid-air, do not try to grab it. That book is being read by someone whose body was vaporized by the explosion, but whose thirst for knowledge remains. The group photo rule. Photos of former students are mounted on the hallway's walls. If, while walking, you feel that the eyes in the photos are following you, turn off your flashlight. They hate the light because it reminds them of the deadly glow of the night of the explosion.
The final and terrifying rules. Night 7. The Code 7 Intruder Rule. If the old radio on the guard officer's desk turns on and the operator announces Code 7 in the cell block, know that Code 7 refers to you. Immediately turn off your flashlight and crawl under the desk. Patrol forces made of mist will come to arrest you. The Interrogation Room Number 4 Rule. If the red light above the interrogation room at the end of the hall turns on, it means the interrogator is waiting for you. You must enter and sit on the metal chair. He will ask you about your sins. Never lie. He can smell the scent of a lie from beneath your gas mask. The Solitary Confinement Rule. The door to cell 10 must always remain locked. If you hear banging on the door and someone shouting, "I am innocent, let me go," do not turn the key in the lock. That creature has been waiting for 39 years for someone to open the door so they can switch places. The Gun Cabinet Rule. If you open the gun cabinet and see severed human fingers lined up in the bullet slots instead of weapons, it means you have been condemned by the zone. In this case, there is no escape from the building unless you leave one of your own fingers in the cabinet. The Criminal Photos Rule. Photos of wanted criminals are posted on the bulletin board. If you look at the bulletin board at 3 a.m. and see your own photo among the criminals, it means you are no longer a visitor. You are considered property of Chernobyl. The Parole Rule. To receive your final payment, you must go to the police chief's office on the second floor. He will give you a certificate of acquittal. If you sign the paper, you get the money. But you must know that by signing it, you have agreed to remain the eternal guard of this station.